everybody, it is March 28, 2020, and we are going trout fishing for the very first time. I'm going trout fishing for the very first time. The lakes were recently stocked this month. I think the lake that I went to got stocked like a week ago, so it's pretty fresh. I'm pretty excited. Going this early, I've always wanted to go, but every time I've had time to go, it's always been like at the very end of trout season. And so I was like, you know what, I've heard that fishing isn't that great towards the end when it's getting hotter out, so screw it. But I have time. I'm going to Two Rivers. They have a trout pond there, and I'm gonna try it out. I do not have a fly fishing rod, but I do have a pretty light weight rod, so I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try some different stuff, see what happens. I'm pretty excited. It's been a while. This is my first going outdoors since this freaking winter. This winter's been crazy. I didn't have time to do anything. So I'm gonna get outside finally. For those of us in Nebraska, coronavirus is getting to be the peak. It's climbing rapidly, and it's kind of scary. And I just don't want to be cooped up indoors when I know in a month I could be cooped up for another 2 weeks. So I want to get outside while I can. So we're going to try some trout fishing. I recently cleaned out my tackle box, and I don't have a whole lot in there. So we're going to work with what we have to do this. I got some different baits to try. Again, I've never done this before. It's going to be a learning curve, I think, and maybe I won't catch anything, but if the fish aren't biting or I can't figure out what the heck I'm doing, I brought a book. I could go for a walk. I'm just like, I need to be outside right now. I moved spots, but I think there's like a tree under here because that is the second time I've snapped my line, so I'm gonna move again. Trout number 2. He's not quite as big as the first one. It feels so much better now because a bunch of people have went home. Like when I first got here, I almost didn't think I was gonna be able to find a spot to sit and fish. I did find a pretty decent one, caught my first fish there. But it's just so much nicer with everyone like kind of gone now because you can kind of move around and try different spots. Before, you were stuck where you were at. But yeah, there's not a lot of people out here now. Mostly just like older dudes. The families, I think, have been here all day, so by now they would have reached their bag limit. So that's probably why they went home. I'm gonna try to catch one more. I've got 2 in the bag. I would like to have one more, and then I'll probably head home. This is the setup I'm using. I just have a weight to pull it to the bottom. I've got a spinner right there, and I've got my hook down here. It's never focused. It's just a little hook. There's some moss on it right now, and then just one piece of corn. And I've had tons of bites, and I've reeled in 2 with this. So I like fishing off the bottom, I think. Everyone else is pretty much fishing off of the top with bobbers, but I don't see them catching any more fish than me, so I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. This is what we call a Polish icebox in my hometown. Take out some of the ice and you throw your beer, or in this case your trout, in there. Beautiful. It feels so good to be outside. It's still pretty warm, but it is starting to get chilly and the wind's starting to pick up. Well, trout fishing was actually kind of a success. I was a little bit nervous because, like I said, I had no idea what I was doing, but I had so much fun, and I just love when I'm feeling crazy and cooped up and just like life is just getting too crazy. Being able to go outdoors just makes me feel a million times better. I ended up with 2 trout, which is one less of my goal. But I'm still pretty happy with what I got, obviously. And I'm gonna stop at the grocery store and get some stuff to, I think I'm gonna pan fry it. I'm gonna have it for dinner tonight. I'm probably gonna freeze one. We'll see how much meat is on them. The first catch was actually pretty big. The second one was a little bit smaller. On a normal fish, I would have put it back, but it's prohibited to release trout because they're gonna die if they're not all caught by June. I think it is, I think it's June. Because once the weather starts getting hot, they can't survive. They need cold water. So that's why they don't let you throw them back, because they're just gonna die anyways if you don't catch them. So I did keep him. I don't know, I'm gonna get some vegetables put with it. So I gotta clean them still. I didn't clean them there because even though they had a cleaning station, because there was always like a line of people to use it. Or there would be like 10 people out at a time. And I know I'm gonna have to look at a YouTube video on how to gut them. So I didn't want to be embarrassed for that. So I will just clean them at home and yeah, cook them up tonight. I'm excited. I think I'm actually gonna go next weekend if I can. That was a lot of fun. All right, everybody, let's move on to the cleaning portion of the fish. I'm just cleaning these fish in my apartment. Got two. This one's the better size. It's about 1 foot long. This guy, he's pretty tiny. I don't know. The sad thing is you can't throw him back. This is probably not big enough to get much meat out of him, but we'll see what we can do. Also, number one, I've never filleted trout, and it's been probably 2 years since I've done any fish cleaning, so I've got a video on YouTube in front of me that I'm gonna follow, and I'm hoping I don't screw this up.
But most of the fish I've cleaned in my lifetime are catfish, and catfish are like the worst to clean, so that should be fine. I'm gonna start with the bigger one. That just seems easiest. And I'm gonna cut it open. This knife is not good.
Pretty clean, but I'm confused because I watched a video that said this dark stuff in there needs to come out too, but then some guys don't clean it out, so I don't know if I should or shouldn't do that. I don't know, but I'm gonna try following what this video says. So now I'm gonna cut. Very sharp. I need to sharpen it. Oh, this was my best one yet. I should have done the little guy first and then the big guy second. So this one has a little bit of bone in it, so I'm actually gonna take a fork and go kind of along that bone. Ooh, dropping my knife. And pull out some of them little bones. That feels pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna prep the rest of my ingredients. I'm going to use garlic, some chopped onion, some dill, lemon pepper. Is that what it's called? Yeah, lemon pepper, salt, pepper, and then like a slice of lemon and a slice of lime. And then I'm going to throw all that in a pan with some butter and throw my fish in the pan. I'm going to cook some asparagus, make a salad, and I will see you guys when that is all ready to go and eat. Yum. Super excited. Alright guys, here's our finished product. I've got the trout cooked beautifully. I am super excited. It smells amazing. Thank you for coming fishing with me today, guys.